All right. So, good evening, friends. Hi, this is Ankit from Dialogues. I'm one of the co-founders of Dialogues, and we're bringing back another episode of an open dialogue series. And a little bit about the series. So, this is where we have casual chats with our community partners, and we talk about their journey, we talk about their passion, we talk about what they do, and most importantly we talk about why they do what they do, because that's the truly inspiring stuff that we get to hear from these individuals. And joining us today for this chat is another very talented individual, and her name is Hemali. So hi Hemali, how are you?
Hi Ankit, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. How is everything in Pune?
It's good, it's good. Many cases, but
Yeah.
everything is, I don't know what to say about it now. Pandemic.
Yeah, but everything is sorted around your place. There's no restrictions and all.
No, restrictions are there, but still people are getting out. So after
Okay.
7, there's again, curfew and all of those things are going on.
Yeah.
But it's not getting followed a lot. So people are getting out.
Oh, oh. Cool. And yeah, so let's get started with our chat. So Himali, why don't you tell us something or tell everyone something about yourself?
Hello everyone. My name is Hemali. I'm from Pune, and I'm a travel sketcher slash watercolor artist, and I'm also a product designer. So I have a full-time job as a product designer, and I take art workshops like as a art instructor on weekends. So that is what I do. And yes, I've been sketching since 7 8 years now, and I got into it because of my father. He loves to paint and sketch, and that is how I started like getting that interest. So I have been doing a lot of sketching, a lot of watercolors. I have tried poster colors as well, acrylics as well, oil painting as well. But then what I love most is watercolors. I love the free flowing part of it. Like, you can't control the waters in watercolor. It's just water and pigment, and you have to naturally let it flow. So that's what I love the best about it, that you can't control that medium at all. It just takes its own its own path, and then it creates art on its own. So I love that about it. And yeah, so right now I'm into a lot of travel sketching and urban
Yeah.
sketching. I love architecture, so I've been doing that a lot.
Yeah. And I've heard this every, especially people who are into painting. So every artist has that, what you can say, a soft corner around one of the mediums. Some
Yeah.
people are like hardcore into acrylic, acrylic because it kindly dries up quickly, and there are many things that you can do, like knife painting with acrylic, finger painting with acrylic, and then there's another set who are like hardcore into watercolors.
Yeah.
So, and you said your medium of choice happens to be watercolor.
Yes.
Okay. But you've dabbled with acrylic as well.
Yeah. So, I have done acrylic as well, but then I don't like the overall opaqueness to the painting that it gives,
Yeah.
the poster colors and acrylic. So, I prefer very light colors, like very pastel tones. So, that is what watercolors gives the best. I also love to sketch a lot. So, I use a
Yeah.
lot of ink, like ink
Okay.
pens and fine liners. So, that is one of the things. So, I mix both the mediums, watercolors and ink.
Okay. And with travel sketching, I think as you mentioned, with the opaqueness and all, it doesn't give the real feeling of the image, I guess.
Yeah, so that spontaneity is somewhere lost. That's what I feel when like you use other mediums. Like, there's something called gouache as well, which is
Yeah.
very close to poster colors.
Yeah.
I like that medium as well. But then again, watercolors is something which gives so much of life and very light feeling to the painting. That is what I love the best about it.
Nice. And You mentioned just now briefly that your dad was the main inspiration why you got into art.
Yeah.
You can elaborate a little bit on that. How did that
Uh,
start?
s- like dad, he's not a trained artist or
Yeah.
anything. But he's very good at landscape paintings and portrait art. So he used to sketch a lot when, like, I was young. I was a kid, like me and my brother when we were kids. He would do that a lot on the weekends, and that is how we started like sketching with him. Like sitting next to him, we would also sketch, and then later on we started going for art classes, and then
Okay.
like moving
Nice.
forward I went to design school, so all that
Yeah.
happened. And then like it has been with me all these years, like a lot of sketching, because again there's influence at home. Like dad who's doing at like on the weekends he's been sketching,
Yeah.
so like he's like a biggest inspiration. And then mom used to put us in all these art competitions, so we
Okay.
were competitive like that.
Yeah.
So the interest didn't go away, and in design school it only happened to increase. Like, so
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of watercolors and urban sketching from my design school. So I'm a NIFT pass out, and I have a bachelor's degree in product design.
Okay.
So that is how, like, I've learned during that tenure of 4 years, I learned what different mediums can do and cannot do, what are they good for. So I
Yeah.
explored all of them during those 4 years as well. A lot of art I did during the design time. And
Nice.
then that's what like moving forward I chose watercolors as my medium.
And then from design school, I guess you moved on to Bangalore uh, to
Yes,
to start your
so yeah.
professional journey.
Yeah. So like I passed out in 2016, and from
Yeah.
there, then I got my first job in Bangalore. So I've been working in Bangalore for 4 years now,
Yeah.
and like during that time, I visited one of, actually this is really nice. Went to the workshop at Dialogues
Oh wow.
in 2016. That
Oh,
was the first art workshop which I attended, and it was, I think, calligraphy workshop. And then I loved the workshop so much, the way they
nice.
taught, and it was with me for quite a long time. And then I started like making my own module of how I'll teach if I want to teach, because I love to teach. I've been teaching kids at orphanage art as well in
Oh
Bangalore.
wow.
So
That's nice.
that's how I thought that I can even take art workshops. And I didn't know that there are such spaces in Bangalore which take art workshops. That happened like coincidentally on one of the weekends. Me and my friends attended that. And 1 year later, I started my own workshops in 2017.
Nice.
So I've taken workshops, a lot of offline workshops. And like this year, I started my online workshops.
Yeah. So which one was your first workshop?
I think I took my first workshop in Lahe Lahe in
Okay.
2017, and it was floral watercolors. That
Okay.
time I didn't start exploring ink with watercolors. I didn't mix the two mediums.
Yeah.
So I was into a lot of floral paintings and abstract watercolor art. So I was teaching that then. For a year I taught that, and then
Yeah.
after that I started exploring urban sketching.
Okay.
So then that's how I moved to then taking workshops which was like specific to urban sketching and travel sketching.
Okay. So so you've taken workshops on watercolors and then urban sketching and travel. And you did mention for urban sketching, I think you used to take people outside and then do like a live kind of a workshop. How does that work?
So urban sketching is at location workshops. It's not
Okay.
inside the studio.
Yeah.
So we have like 2-3 day module where first day is in the studio, where you
Okay.
learn the basics of sketching, different types of shading techniques and different types of watercolor techniques. So all those basics are taught on the first day, and then you're prepped for like how do you go out, what material is needed. So that basic information is given, and then
Yeah.
second and third day it's on location. So just some random streets in Kormangla we would go and
Okay.
just sit there. We'll find one nice, very quaint little house, and then we'll sketch that. So I just teach them the perspective, the composition of the whole drawing, and then we enjoy like 2-3 hours outdoors sketching our own thing. And then
Yeah.
in the end of the class, we just see what everybody has done,
Yeah.
what have they come up with, and then there's a normal feedback round, and then again we follow the same thing on the third day.
Okay. Oh, that's very nice. Hopefully, once the restrictions are over, I think that's an amazing session, and I'm sure you're also itching to get back to urban sketching
I'm
yourself.
waiting for pandemic to get over, for COVID to go away, so I can get back to my offline workshops.
Wow. And so it was watercolor, then you went into urban sketching, and then travel sketching. You added that to your portfolio. How did that happen?
So travel sketching, like I started being in Bangalore. I don't know why, but people start traveling a lot.
Yeah,
So
there are many such beautiful places
yeah,
and so many weekend trips that can be planned this
yeah,
way.
so that's what happened with me. Like first job, after that you get some freedom, independent. You get independent, so you start traveling, and then I started enjoying traveling a lot more. So I started exploring new places, and we have amazing places nearby Bangalore as well, which
Yeah,
are good for weekends. And I would take my like this DSLR with me. I love to take photos, and I'm into photography. So I used to take a lot of good photos, and we would just travel and take pictures with my design school friends who were there in Bangalore. So
yeah,
we all were into that photography and all that similar interests. So we would go and take a lot of pictures. You would go to Hampi and take pictures
nice.
at sunrise and sunset. So we would do all of that. But then it was getting a little bit fast paced for me, because maybe 3 days weren't enough for travel, and then I would feel always out of the moment, and then
Yeah.
like not in the place, because it was so fast, like click 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 and then next spot, click 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 and then next spot. So you're not there in that moment, and then that's
And
what
then
when I
obviously so
realized.
many selfies would have been taken also. Sure.
What?
So many selfies also would have been taken,
Yeah,
travel
yeah, yeah.
selfies.
Lots of selfies. So I don't know. I never enjoyed that. Like to some extent, it's fine, but then
Yeah.
I started feeling that it's not a very good way of traveling. So I left my DSLR on purpose for 2-3 times on my next trips, and then
Okay.
that was when like I started traveling very slow, like slow
Mm,
travels, no itinerary planning, just being there in that moment, and I started enjoying it. And like this happened in Hampi. I was at a a small Irish, I think, cafe or something, and they
okay.
weren't bringing the food very soon. They take their own sweet time, so we was just sitting, and then I started sketching on my
Yeah.
tissue, just the interiors of the cafe. And then
Okay.
that's when it clicked me that I can actually start keeping a travel journal instead of photographing the
Yeah.
place. And that
Nice.
has been a real game changer for me, honestly, because I started seeing things better. You start seeing different elements
Yeah.
in the like
Okay.
in that place, and there are some visual treats which you just enjoy, and that you don't get when you're not sketching. It's just like you are observing because you want to sketch. So my observation skills improved. The overall travel got very slow, and I was in depth with the overall travel experience. So it was very
Wow.
nice. You connect at a deeper level when you're travel sketching.
Wow. And I guess you've touched upon it a little bit, but then, as you rightly said, travel sketching is not about just travel and sketching. It has many more different elements attached
Yeah.
to it. Like you mentioned about it, it slows down the entire experience. You start observing things that you probably miss out if you're just clicking pictures or just passing through. So what are the different elements that are involved in travel sketching?
So one is that you start observing much better. You start
Yeah,
seeing things which you didn't see earlier. That is
yeah,
one of the main things. And then you start communicating better with people. You start connecting with people, because there were times when I was sketching, and people would just see that what I'm sketching, and they would approach me, and then we started talking. And
nice.
me being an introvert, it was very difficult for me to open up earlier. But through sketching, it was way easier, because I just had to talk talk about what I was doing and not
Yeah.
any other small talk. So that was much interesting. I started opening up to people. I started opening up to locals, because there
Wow.
are these kids and families which are roaming around. Also, like in Spiti Valley, I did a lot of sketching on the in the valley, and the locals would be very warm and welcoming. They see that I'm sketching their house, and they would invite me in. They would show me around. Then we'll have some chai or something, and something they'll offer
Wow. Oh,
something
that's
to
so
eat.
nice.
Yeah, so that relationship built, and I got more confident. So definitely, like, it opens a lot more space for communication.
Yeah.
Then also in this you get a lot of freedom. You can
Mhm.
sketch whatever you want. It's not something, there are no rules to it.
Yeah.
Like if you like some monument, you can sketch that. If you like food, you can sketch your food. If you like people, then you can start sketching people there, or animals, or whatever. Like
Yeah.
whatever you like, you can just choose your subject, because again, it's a very personal thing. It's your own travel journal. You are
Yeah.
documenting it. It's your own memoirs, so
Yeah.
you can just play around and do whatever you want with it. So that is one of the things. Yeah, I think that's
And do you
about
think
it.
your overall, I wouldn't say personality, but the overall creativity uh, around, I guess, because as you said, you observe a lot more, or you observe things at a more deeper level. Do you feel like when you were taking pictures before you started travel sketching compared to after that, like you get better at probably your photography as well? And because
Yes.
you're talking to so many more
Yeah.
people, I guess your it can also improve your not just communication, but maybe even the writing skills as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, like, I also saw the change in photography as well, because
Okay.
lot of involvement is there when you are like doing that sketch. You see the perspective, then you see what kind of facades and what kind of architecture is that.
Yeah.
What different angles will suit best for your sketch, and then you draw according to that. You sit at a specific like place and see that angle is good or not.
Yeah.
And that like that patience is like it improves a lot. And that is why you start understanding the composition and layout of overall monument, or the subject, whichever you have decided to sketch. And then
Okay.
once you have seen it so clearly, the photography comes out much better, because now you know all your angles, you know the perspective of that specific monument. So
Yeah.
it comes out way better, rather than just going and clicking while you are just taking a
Yeah.
like going around that monument. Rather than that, you just see everything properly and then take pictures. So that happens. And also it improves your creativity a lot, because you've started observing. It gets slower, and you start enjoying it overall. So it gives a lot of creativity to the
Yeah.
journal as well, because you start different doing some experiments with the layouting of the journal, where you want to write, where you want to sketch. So that all improves.
And I guess I think you've again mentioned it briefly, but it'd be great if you can elaborate on. Okay, is travel sketching only about sketching like a monument or a structure, or it can be expanded into like, any object? Like if I'm traveling, I want to sketch the food that I'm eating. Does that also come under travel sketching?
uh, yeah. So anything and everything comes under travel sketching. So
Mm.
you can sketch monuments, or you can sketch streets, or you can sketch some houses which are like old and battered, or you can sketch food, or you can sketch interiors of your hotel or a cafe. Like I said, you can do anything. I even sketch on my travel like commute, like transit. So
Oh,
while
okay.
waiting for my plane, I start sketching people on the airport. I start sketching chairs, whatever is available there. Or if I bought something to eat, just a takeaway food, I'll sketch that, and then
Nice.
maybe I'll eat it. So it's all about that. I even sketched my bags. I had bought some woven bags from Sikkim, so I start
Okay.
sketching those on
Oh,
my
wow.
transit. So you can sketch anything and everything which you like.
Yeah. And I guess one follow-on question around this would be, so obviously while you're sketching and you're in a public place, I'm sure you would have had some interesting experience or a fun experience where some people might have approached you or watched you sketching, and some experience that or something that you would like to share?
Like in Spiti, I had done some sketching at Chandratal Lake, and then my
Okay.
tour guide actually he wanted that artwork.
Oh wow. Okay.
He actually framed it, and I gave it to him. So he actually framed it, and then he sent me pictures over WhatsApp later. And then
Oh wow.
like his kids loved it so much that they took selfies with it and they sent it to me. So
Yeah.
it's very warm, and you develop some relations over something which is like just sketching. So
Nice.
and it's also very stress free. It's not something very intellectual. It just gives you peace, and it's like meditation for me at
Nice.
least. And then I have just bonded so well with some people and some travelers over sketching, and even sometimes photography. So I love about like being on travel and doing something which you like, and then bonding over with that through people.
And I guess it was mentioned before also that Hemali is taking travel sketching workshops, online workshops, and I think one of them is coming up with dialogues where we'll be sketching Delhi's iconic monument, the Red Fort. I think that's on coming Sunday. So my next question is around the workshop itself. Um, so when you say travel sketching workshop, uh, as a participant, what can I expect to learn out of this workshop?
So in this workshop, you'll learn how to pack your materials for your travel sketching.
Okay.
Since you're not traveling right now, even then, how to maintain that compact sized things like compact size sketchbooks, the materials of it, the brands which I use very affordable brands, but they are very good. They are Indian local brands which I use.
Wow. Nice.
So I use those and some international brands as well, and they're amazing. They do the so how to pack your stuff, how to keep that material. So
Yeah.
just a 10-minute information on that, and then I'll also teach them how to free their fingers and hands to like make their sketching better. So some line work exercises, and
Okay.
after that we'll move on to the main sketching part,
Yeah.
where I'll help them understand like some tips on how to choose the subject while you're sketching. Many
Yeah.
people are confused that I have a travel sketchbook and I'll take everything there, but then what should I sketch? There
Yeah.
are so many things. So tips
Exactly.
and tricks on that, like what to choose, how to choose, and when you're a beginner, like what kind of subjects you can choose, what kind of paths. So
Yeah.
all those tips on that. And then once we start with the artwork, which is again Red Fort this Sunday.
Yeah.
So for that, again, layouting of it, composition, how to use your white space on your paper and bring out the
Okay.
overall artwork.
Wow.
Also, the speed is very important in travel sketching. So again, tips on that, how to make your sketching faster, and just in limited time, how much you can do.
Yeah.
So tips on that, and then some tips on perspective drawing, then
Okay.
some pen work techniques I'll show them, and some watercolor techniques as well while we finish the artwork. So one and yeah, at the end of the during the whole session, it'll be like just a normal casual talking
Yeah.
I do with the audience, and then they just shoot questions on travel sketching, and then we just talk, and I clarify all their doubts. So that is like a very interactive session which we have for like 2 hours, where we create an artwork and have a good conversation along with it.
Very nice. And it's I guess let's say if someone wants to get started and has not started a travel journal but just wants to get started and start making a journal, is it possible that he or she can just browse through old pictures and start making one?
Yes, yes. So that's what I have done. Like I have maintained a journal from like I started drawing in my new journal
Okay.
from my travel experiences in Bhutan, because we were stuck in a pandemic and all our travel plans have been cancelled.
Yeah.
So just reminiscing the old photographs and then recreating them. So that is like this is actually a golden opportunity right now for me as well to improve my sketching skills, because you have
Oh,
time.
good.
You have a lot of time on hand on weekends, and you can just practice a lot of sketching. So that's what I have been doing. I've been recreating my photographs to artworks during the weekends and whenever I have free time, to make my journal on the travel experiences from my past. So they can definitely do that.
Wow, so nice. So yeah, there you go. If in case someone wants to know how to get started, and you don't really have to be limited by traveling, you can just start browsing through your old pictures, and if you want, you can attend one of Hemali's sessions and just get that push and know those tips and tricks on how to get started. And Himali, do you have something or some one of your travel journals if you would like to show us
Yeah,
some of your work?
I'll just show you all. I don't know. Can you see?
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
this is very
Have on it.
tiny. This is a very tiny journal which I carry. So again, the size matters a lot. You can't take a big journal because
Okay.
paper space will like depend like make your artwork time will depend on the paper space. So
Okay.
these were done like 25-30 minutes. This was like all throughout Rajasthan I had traveled. So
Oh wow.
like a 10-day trip. So I was sketching my like way around. So see, I told you like food sketching. So I had done
Yeah,
this.
true.
This was the pyaz kachori. So I do all of that. Like it's some silly
Yeah,
sketching. Then this was Jantar Mantar.
yeah.
I think this was Golden Fort in Jaisalmer. So there are few like this was I think Bikaner. So there are many like so there are times that like I had traveled with my parents, so like they visit a lot of temples, and I'm not like
Okay.
a I visit but I don't like to spend too much time. So instead of spending it inside, I spend it
Yeah.
outside. They're inside while I sketch outside. So that is how we were
That's
like
good. No, that's win-win for the entire family. Family में लड़ाई नहीं
yeah.
होगी कोई.
So all these like many temples, we visited many temples in Pushkar and everywhere. So they were like
Wow.
just praying inside while I was sketching outside. So that was like a win-win for both of us. And yeah, many of them like I have I think quite
Wow.
a bit. Yeah. So the desert.
And you did mention that matlab, people can make their personal travel journals by not just only sketching, but they can also write about
Right.
those travel experiences as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
And
so like usually those like I have journals where I use some space for drawing, and then the rest of the space just to write things.
yeah,
So I do that a lot. So they can also do that, like just some things while sketching. If somebody is saying something, or if I have a conversation with a local and it's something very big for me, because being an introvert, I don't like start a conversation. So I even write about those experiences, that while
wow,
sketching what happened, or some food if I have loved something. So in Bhutan, I would love the dumplings which they would serve, and the overall taste was so good. And even the chilies, they have something called chili and cheese. So that is their dish, and I used to love that. So we had amazing conversation with locals there also.
yeah,
So I actually sketched and wrote about it, wrote the whole recipe, because there were small kitchens which are home kitchens.
okay,
So they would share the recipes, and I actually wrote the recipes along with the whole artwork.
wow,
So they give that time, and that is very nice. So you can just have some your own notes and make it very personal.
wow. And you mentioned, I think, 3 or 4 times that you are an introvert. So how much travel sketching would it take you to become an extrovert?
I'm
Because
still not an extrovert. I'm
you
still
keep
not.
saying you've talked to this person, you've talked to that person, and right now you're talking in front of a camera also. So I
Yeah.
think you're
So
getting.
actually, my first live session. I have not done a live session before this. Uh, yeah,
But
and like
I've
yeah,
attended your workshops also. I've attended your online sessions, and everyone loves you. The way you engage with people, because you're so friendly, and I guess as because you are such a pro at travel sketching and you teach it at such a slow pace that everyone can follow. So I'm sure you're getting there.
yeah. So for me, it's more about like people start travel sketching. So I wanted to like break it and make it so simple that it's not no more intimidating to them, because I have people who tell me that you've sketched this, but this looks so difficult, and how
Yeah,
will we do it? So I just try and break it and make it very simple. And I'm still not an extrovert. Like I never go out besides taking workshops on weekends. That is my outing on the weekends. So that is how I connect with people, through workshops. Otherwise, it's very, I'm like a homebody. I don't go out at all. For urban sketching, I do go out, but again, that is early in the morning, 5:30, 6:30. I'll go. I'll finish my sketch and come back. Because again, it's for me, it's very intimidating to talk to new people. While I'm traveling, it's still okay because nobody knows me there. But in the city, I still get a bit scared. So I prefer going early in the morning when there's no traffic, there are no people. I'll finish my sketch and come back quickly. So it's still there. It's not completely gone. But yeah, I've become confident with talking, and like I'm no more scared to talk to people, at least for workshops. Like if they are coming for it, I enjoy that time because I know it's for sketching, and I also love sketching. But besides that, I've not opened up to people like really a lot.
Thanks for talking to me at least today.
Yeah.
It was a fun chat. One last question. So what's next for Hemali? What are your future plans?
So I'm waiting for pandemic to end. I actually want to do a travel sketching workshop where we go to some place nearby Bangalore, in Hampi or somewhere close by, and actually sketch. So just community, like three people, like 10 or 15 people, and we all sketch different places and just go through the whole travel experience together. And
Nice.
like see the difference while traveling when you sketch. So and giving them just life tips while they're sketching on their travel. So I would love to do that. And I would love to do urban sketching workshops. I want to start them again as soon as possible because I love them. So on location workshops, yeah, that is something like I am missing out on. So I would love to meet people and take those workshops outdoors. So that is something I'm waiting for.
Hopefully that day comes sooner rather than later, because I guess every one of us is now waiting to start going out and at least get out and do something. But yeah, again, thanks a lot for taking the time and having this chat. It was really enjoyable, and I think we should do this more often. And yeah, it was so much fun. Next time maybe we talk about something more specific around travel sketching, I guess. Or something new, maybe watercolors, because that's your other passion.
We can do something. I would love to have another chat. It was fun. It was fun.
Chalo, thank you so much. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.